What does it really mean to be yourself? We hear this phrase so frequently that it starts to lose its meaning. Pasted across self-help books, shouted across social media feeds, sewn into slogans of self-love. But what is often left unsaid is the price of such a decision. To be yourself when it's easy? When it's accepted? Or more truthfully, when it costs you everything? Well, there exists an anime that dares to answer. What happens when you choose authenticity even if it hurts? Meet Nina Isui. She is not your typical protagonist. She's not charming, not composed, not even particularly goal-driven. When we first meet her, she's lost, freshly dropped out of high school, escaping from her hometown by the shadow of unjust bullying, and stranded alone in Kawasaki with no friends or family, no job, and no plan. What she does have, though, is a voice. And more than that, a conscience. A morality so strong it becomes her greatest burden. She once tried to save a classmate from bullying, only to cast out herself, abandoned by the girl she protected, by her school, and even by her family. That moment, that injustice, festers in her heart. She's that type of person who cannot ignore what's wrong, even if it destroys her. Nina meets Momoka Kawawagi, an ex-member of the band Diamond Dust, who left her rising career behind due to creative differences. Where Nina is raw emotion, Momoka is quiet resignation. She seems like she's already made peace with failure, having given up on dreams once too idealistic. She plans to leave Kawasaki, quitting music, but after Nina convinces her, she stays. Through Nina, something begins to stir in her again. A reminder of her younger, stubborn self before life, labels, and the industry told her to grow up and sell out. After hearing Nina sing, Momoka was amazed by her raw, emotional style and suggested forming a band with her. Nina initially declined, but after some time they formed a band with the temporary name Shin Kawasaki. The early days of this band are rocky. Subaru joins as their drummer, reluctantly pulled into the world of music despite being set on an acting career chosen for her by her grandmother. Though she appears confident and composed, Subaru struggles deeply with the weight of expectation. Acting was never her dream. It was a legacy handed down, one she felt too guilty to refuse. But music offers her something acting never could, a space to be honest, to breathe. As she spends more time with the band, her inner conflict surfaces. She grapples with guilt, identity, and whether she has the right to choose a different path. As they perform our gigs, two new members, Rupa and Tomo, join in. Their additions bring new energy, but also new complexity. Tomo is sharp-tongued and brutally honest, so much so that it once tore apart a former band. Because of that past, she initially hides her instincts, pretending to agree even when she knows something's off. Rupa, on the other hand, well, to be honest, she's perfection incarnate. But it is hinted that she had a traumatic experience in the past and is now making the most of her life, drinking away and making the most of her time with those close to her. With this, Togenash Togeari was formed, each girl bringing their own baggage, making their band dynamic complicated to say the least. Conflicts flare up, harsh arguments and shouts occur, but through these growing pains, their bond solidifies. Episode after episode, we watch these girls battle their personal struggles and grow, especially Nina and Momoka. We see Nina gradually transform, once having difficulties forming trust on Subaru, now open to accepting Rupa and Tomo. Later on, she mends things with her family. She admits her trauma, she grows, but crucially, she never changes her core. That fire, that integrity, that refusal to anyone but herself, that stays. Momoka begins to confront the part of herself she had buried. She sees in Nina the same youthful idealism she once had before giving it up. Watching Nina hold on despite failure, rejection, and fear forces Momoka to stop projecting and start participating. Her journey isn't about rediscovering passion, it's about no longer running away from it. Later in the show, the band is offered a deal through a record label. They join the label and put out a new song under their direction, hoping to finally break through. But the song doesn't gain the traction they expected. It barely makes a ripple. Disillusioned by the experience and unwilling to compromise, the band decides to leave the label behind and go fully independent, embracing their own path without commercial pressure. Because that's the lesson. It's better to be real and rejected than fake and applauded. And standing in contrast is Diamond Dust, the very band Momoka once belonged to. After she left, they embraced commercialization, becoming more polished, more marketable, and undeniably more successful. Their rise in fame, headlining major events, and captivating wide audiences highlights a bitter truth. Inauthenticity often sells better. While Togenash Togeari chooses sincerity and struggle, Diamond Dust thrives in the spotlight, a carefully packaged brand with all the shine but none of the soul. This rivalry goes beyond musical style. It's about philosophy. One band represents compromise and success, the other stands for self-expression and resilience. And while one draws massive crowds, the other finds meaning in simply being true to themselves. even if it means being left behind by the world. This dynamic is further deepened by the relationship between Nina and Hina, her former friend, now the new frontwoman of Diamond Dust. Back in school, Hina had warned Nina not to get involved with the bullying of another student. Nina stood up anyway and paid the price. Back to the present, Hina remains unrepentant, brushing out the past and implying that her choice to stay silent was the wiser one. As Hina sings for a commercially successful version of the band Nina once admired, covering and remaking a song that was her solace, we're reminded of the stark difference between the two. One who took the safer path and now thrives, and one who walked through fire just to stay true to her heart. These contrasting paths between Nina and Hina, Toge Toge and Diamond Dust speak to something larger. The series explores bullying, suicide, alcoholism, corporate greed, and more. It shows that the fight to remain true to yourself isn't just personal, it's political, cultural, emotional. It teaches that growing up doesn't mean giving in, but rather holding on to your values even when they're inconvenient, even when you're alone, even when the world pushes back. This story is a realistic depiction of rebellion. It shows the cost. It shows what happens when you're told to grow up, stop dreaming, and you say no. So why choose to be yourself, knowing it might ruin everything? Because some truths are worth the consequences, some words are worth the silences that follow, and some dreams are worth failing for, over and over, so long as they are yours. Through beautiful and expressive 3D animation, we are shown that it isn't about winning. It's about fighting, about clawing your way through pain, rejection, and self-doubt just to sing your truth, even if no one listens. But here's the thing, someone will listen. Maybe not a million people, maybe just one. But that's enough. Because if being yourself means something to you, if it makes life more bearable, more honest, more real, then you've already won. Even if the world doesn't notice, even if they laugh, even if they leave. If you truly believe that who you are, what you stand for, what you create is something worth fighting for, then get out there and give them all a massive finger of rebellion and individuality. My time's up. You should watch Girls Band Cry.